So guys, welcome back to my Ghanaian Dream channel. As you can see, the whole of the stretch, 23-meter stretch of my chicken house, it is covered, as you can see, with my blue tarpaulin. Up to yesterday night, up to about 7 to 8 p.m., I was still here pulling these things up and down, tying it and nailing it, just to ensure that should the drizzles that started around the 8 p.m. should we continue into heavy rainfall and there happens to be storm winds that are blowing up and down, um, rainwater wouldn't wash into my chicken house to potentially bring smell and then also bring maggots that will bring infection to my chicks. But then for me, the most important thing, and from the bottom of my heart and God being the witness, it is that it is a smell in particular I do not want to come to affect anyone, especially my neighbors. So this morning I've started removing this one by one, but then I think I should just finish this video before I remove before before I remove the remaining ones. So talking about smell and talking about disturbances, disturbances, talking about nuisance, talking about who should complain. This the neighboring plot that adjoins my house and that automatically adjoins my chicken house. I have complained a number of times, and most of you that live around forested areas and then um, open lands like this, and where people do open defecation, where people just go to defecate indiscriminately, this is one of the places here. So some of my neighbors, especially those that are complaining that my chicken house may bring smell and noise to disturb their tenants, it is in fact some of their tenants and their own children who come here to defecate, and for which reason it has opened the way for most of the people around here for their children to come in here to defecate. And as it has rained, the smell, the rain has wet the feces, excuse my language, and now the smell blows into my compound. The stench is so offensive to the extent that you dare not even be able to go near where these oil palm trees are. But then I'm not supposed to complain, and I'm talking about one particular aspect of the complaints, which is the smell. But then for noise and other things, maybe it will remain for later. Then here, when there is some flooding, that particular place, water collects there, and eventually it runs into my compound where I am standing, except perhaps because I've not done this chicken house and put some gravel. If not, the water used to run from there, enter into my compound up to this part. Then later, it then runs off. But then it leaves debris of fecal matter. It leaves debris of carcasses of reptiles, among others. Sometimes it even brings out reptiles into my compound, and when they don't know where to go, they get into my room. So I do not blame those who defecate there. I blame the owner of that particular land, because he or they are those that abandon it but then still keeping ownership to it, abandon the taking care of that particular land, because they are supposed to, if there is wind, weeds, they come and clear the weeds. If people are defecating there, they find a way to barricade the place so that people do not defecate there, because it's an open place. So I was doing some research, and the research shows that there is a public health law that indicates that if you are doing an activity that brings about public nuisance to your neighbors, to the extent that the neighbors, it becomes unbearable and your neighbors can go to complain, then a research will be mounted by the public health department of the municipal assembly for them to see whether really what you are doing amounts to nuisance, that amounts to something that needs to be abrogated. For which reason, yes, a poultry farm within a community, if care is not taken in how it is handled in terms of the smell and then the noise being managed. For the noise, I think it cannot be complained about, because there are fufu grinding commercial fufu grinding machines. There are welders. There are other activities that takes place in this community that the noise is so much, which I think I've mentioned many times. So talking about the smell which has come out because of the season. So as I'm where I'm standing right now, I smell so much this particular fish. You can see these bombs that are lying there, black, all of that are feces. Just beside my wire, this, all of this, all of this are feces, all of that. So even sometimes I just come out of my room, and if I don't start children, they will just come and hold the wire, squat there, and begin to pull. You see, all of those are human feces, human fecal matter, all of that. The whole stretch of this particular plot of land, human beings defecate there. Even adults in the night, they do open defecation there. For which reason, it begs the question whether anybody, especially of the type I've described, can have the guts to complain that my chicken farm brings smell. If your activities also bring smell, dangerous ones, of course, not only smell, but then rodents and reptiles and what have you getting into my compound and disturbing me and my family, then you are the one who can complain. So if for whatever reason, whether madness or whatever it is, someone decides to take this thing up and it goes to the authorities, then there are many things that can also raise up. And I say this with a lot of concern, because as a human being, for me, I take the rights of people, even of animals, very seriously. For which reason, if I try to do everything humanly possible to ensure that I do not commit anything that disturb my neighbor or my neighbors, but then somebody amongst them or some of them amongst them think that they can push me, that is where we are going to turn this community to a level which all of us may not be able to live inside. And I'm not threatening anyone. I'm just saying that anyone who would dare to attempt to worry my chicks because of whatever reason, I am doing my utmost best. As you guys can see, even with the rains, I have checked on various weather apps to just be able to at least give a reasonable amount of prediction when rains can come, when storms can come, so that I'll cover my chicken house. And as you know, about 4 days ago, in some of my videos, I indicated that according to weather.com or AccuWeather and among others, they are predicting that the rains would have come yesterday. And lo and behold, the rains came. I did that not because I was so much interested in saying I predicted right. No, not at all. But then to be able to determine what I do in terms of covering, so that water does not enter into the chicken house to bring about any form of complaint. And that is the reason why I did that. So if I can go to this extent just to be able to protect the farm from bringing any form of nuisance, from affecting my neighbors, but then others can blatantly allow others can blatantly allow their children and that of their whatever to go into my property neighboring mine, to cause all this kind of nuisance. There was a point I even placed a street light over there because it was too much. And one of the reasons why I have not put a fence wall is simply because, should I put a fence wall, people are going to use it as a shield, as a shade, to do open defecation, and to the extent that I may have to take my family out of this place because the smell would have been too much. That is the reason why I didn't put, and I'm not yet intending to put a fence wall around that side, simply because it will just bring even more of the open defecation around that side. So, but God knows our hearts. God knows what we are doing. If we are doing it out of the fact that we care less about what people do, God knows. If we are doing it and God knows from our hearts that we care, then Allah Almighty also so the knower. And then if we are doing, we are complaining, or we are lamenting and threatening, actually because we are jealous, we are wicked, we are people who do not want others to thrive except only as, Allah Almighty is also in witness. For which reason I do not mind whatever that those unscrupulous people will do or say. If they do, wherever it will go, let it go. And like I said previously, I have been searching for the lands, not necessarily because I am I have grown to the extent of expanding, but then because of precautions such as this. But then whatever it is, if you haven't still subscribed to my channel, please do so. This is my Ghanaian dream. And as you know, when you are growing, when you are intending to grow, when you have the vision to grow, many challenges will come, especially when you are living within people who speak your own language, especially also when you are within a country like Ghana, where majority have relaxed and out of the overwhelming nature of the challenges, but then the few that may want to grow, some of these things may come. But then whatever it is, we are not born the same, our fingers are not the same, where we have come from is not the same, and where we are going certainly is not the same. For which reason, allow people who want to grow to do so. Clap for them, support them the little you can. If you can't, just don't interrupt them. Bye bye for now. See you in my next video.